And now, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda commences tonight's satsang with a Sanskrit peace chant.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We begin with mystic song by Sri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Sri Swami Umananda and Rajneesh.
Our song tonight is based on a poem by Swamiji. It's called O Krishna. O Krishna, may I dream of you dancing with me on the grassy banks of the Yamuna river. O Krishna, abide in my deepest thoughts and unspoken feelings, singing the melody of eternity. May my soul merge with you. May my waking hours be filled with the sweetness of your being. May my life flow on like the Yamuna river, sparkling with your smile, merging with the divine thought. In the depths of my heart, O Krishna, may I ever abide with you. We are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is May the 12th, 2021, Wednesday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on the Yoga Vasistha. This is series 2018, class number 336. And now, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatihitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatihitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha, section 81 continues. Insight into health and removal of disease. Disease term has been explained. The root cause of all disease called mool adhi, which is ignorance. That gives rise to adhi and vyadhi. Adhi means mental disease, mental imbalance, all mental problems. And vyadhi is consequent result on the body. Mind and body are interrelated. So this topic continues in the story of Shikhidhwaja and Chudala. Due to lack of spiritual knowledge and consequent lack of control over the senses, the mind loses its healthy state and becomes affected by the currents of raga and dvesha, attachment and hatred, likes and dislikes, how you handle your likes and dislikes. If that handling is not well done means utilize both opportunities. If it is a matter of dislike, learn lessons from what you are disliking. And try to figure out what austerity will do so that it will not affect you. But do not become affected by it. Similarly, pleasant condition comes. Do not become engrossed, elated, but try to understand how wonderful it looks. It gives you so much happiness. Why shouldn't you go into deeper happiness? What causes happiness when you like certain object? And the same object when you dislike, it doesn't cause happiness, it causes all pain. So the world of raga, try to understand all its implications. And therefore, when there is raga developing, have deeper insight that it is a touch of divine presence. That's what makes you love. So in each love, in each aspect of raga, turn your attention from object to the source of the object, divine within. Another way to understand, sublimate raga into devotion, bhakti, and sublimate dvesha into practice of vichar, neti neti. All things of this world, they are illusory. So if you want to hate, hate all illusions. If you want to love, love one absolute. Thus overcome by these raga, dvesha and afflictions. Raga, dvesha, dominating mind means You are controlled by kleshas, avidya, ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. These 5 kleshas, they are dominating your mind. And that's the basis of your ill health in a profound way. There arise numerous mental ailments. They arise like hailstorms during monsoon rains. Suddenly, things are calm and quiet, but monsoon rains start. Hailstorms bring hail, not hailberry, but hail of frosts. Similarly, kleshas become the source of raging storm for your mental process. Due to the impact of impetuous desires, impetuous desire means when you have desire, if you are spiritually advanced, you examine your desire. Is it on the right course? Is it preya? It is shreya. You are desiring. Is it you are simply being led because things are pleasant? Or are you being led because it is nourishing, enriching, it's helpful? So your desire should not be just driven by mental whim. That desire which is led by mental whim is called impetuous desire. One is unable to observe the laws of health. When you are dominated by impetuous desire, laws of health you cannot observe. And what does it mean? He indulges in impure food, impure atmosphere, and an abrupt pattern of living. One day rising 2 o'clock in the morning, another day rising 9 o'clock in the morning, another day keeping the night vigil, another day night go on sleeping abruptly. All that becomes normal if you are a patient. But if you have the ideal of being healthy, promote a rhythmic pattern in daily life. If you fail, doesn't matter. You try again and again. But always try to have a rhythm. Time to wake up, time to go to sleep, time to do your japa, time to do exercises, time for food, and what type of food and how much to eat, and all the details. And they have to be worked out with common sense, super sense, and deeper insight. And this should continue day by day. So he indulges in impure food, impure atmosphere, abrupt pattern of living. This gives rise to many physical diseases. By irregularity in food, sleep, and work, by excessive and immoderate sense enjoyment. Suddenly some food is so tasty. Your stomach is full, but who cares? You go on taking it more and more and more. And in order to digest it, go on drinking alcohol. By evil deeds and by evil association, all these promote unhealthy personality. One becomes a prey to numerous diseases of the body and mind. By constant fear of thieves, snakes, poison, and the numerous negative objects of the world, one subjects the body to diverse diseases. Actions, both of past lives as well as of the present life, are responsible for the development of different mental states in a person. And your karma is involved in bringing out expressions of disease in mental type as well as physical type. Whichever karma predominates, whether of a past life or of the present life, accordingly a person develops a positive or a negative state of mind. This state of mind becomes responsible for the state of the body. Or negative mind goes on promoting disease. Disease is dis-ease. You are not at ease. The diseases that develop in the body and mind during one's lifetime are superficial expressions of a deeper malady, ignorance, agyan or avidya. That's the mool disease, root disease. This ignorance must be destroyed in order to terminate the cycle of birth and death. And Mool Adi is the cause of the soul constantly whirling in the cycle of birth and death. And this predicament of Janma Mrityu, Bandhan, the bondage that brings repeated births, repeated deaths, and you continue. You have already passed through millions and trillions, you can't count them. And nature has all the room for another next billion years. So this terrible disease, which is mortality virus, that must be your central focus. If that is you are curing, then all diseases will vanish. They will have no effect on you. Here I am talking in a broad way. Body will not be always there, but that body is not the symptom of healthy state. Body itself is a result of mool adi. You are everywhere, but being confined to the body is a terrible disease. You are one with God. You are the sun, but being confined as a reflected sun in a pot of water. That's the disease. All the story of the reflected sun is in the realm of disease. The real sun is a real health. From reflected sun to real sun. From the state of jivahood to this revelation, I am Brahman. That revelation is the cure for all diseases. The diseases of the body can be remedied by using the various methods prescribed by the experts in the field of medicine. Here again, now turning your attention to Purushartha, self-effort. Leave no stone unturned in handling any disease. Get any expert Ayurvedic physician or any expert physician and be under guidance and try to handle your disease at right moment, not unnecessarily delay in treating the disease. So all that common sense must be applied. Leave no stone unturned. But along with it, repetition of mantras, good karmas, and various purificatory sadhanas. When mental ailments agitate one's heart, one is unable to see the path ahead and often takes the wrong direction. Like a doe injured by an arrow, one continues to wander away from the right course. Whipped by the mind, the pranas lose their harmonious functions. This point has been explained, and it will be mentioned again and again, that when mind is agitated, your pranas don't operate in harmony. They go into disorder. Like rivers whipped by a hurricane, they overflow their bounds. This results in imbalance of the three humors, bile, phlegm, and wind. When the mind is purified, the deeper cause of physical ailments is removed. So there lies the whole root, secret of health of your body in your mind. And the secret of the health of your mind is attaining enlightenment. Therefore, a healthy mind promotes a healthy body. Mantras exert their powerful influence on the mind, how to strengthen your mind. And mantra is the most powerful aid. Led by mantra, you awaken the strength of your faith, Shraddha. When Shraddha is awakened, it gives you awareness of boundless energy that can flow through your personality. You are linked to, you are related to God. And from the source of God, the energies that will help you, they are beyond your imagination. When the mind is purified by the repetition of mantras and by various types of meditation, the pranas flow in the body with joyousness. Food is perfectly digested and assimilated. This gives rise to the destruction of all diseases. Now listen. I will continue to describe the awakening of Kundalini and attainment of various siddhis. Rama had asked about these questions. Section 82, description of siddhis in the story of Queen Chudala. O Rama, now we will tell you how a yogi acquires the power of rendering the body minute and gigantic. In a scriptural language, you have 8 siddhis, major powers. Anima, becoming very small. Laghima, becoming extremely light. Mahima, becoming extremely gigantic. When you hear these, you become surprised, but you don't realize these siddhis are available now for majority of people. You communicate with people far away. How? You become very small. And with fingertips, you can be enlarged. Or it can be rendered small. In other words, these siddhis, they make your life's movement easier. Your self-effort becomes much more progressive. But other than that, siddhis are themselves, not the goal. So coming back to just enumerate those siddhis. Anima, Laghima, Mahima. Next siddhi is called Prapti. Whatever you wish, you attain it. These days, you wish to know certain topic, what is what is Kundalini, what is this or that, and you get it within minutes. Prakamya, whatever you wish will be fulfilled. Vashitva, everything that you need is under your control. Ishitva, ability to rule like gods, an ability to create. And yatra kam asayitva is the last one. Fulfilling all your desires. And that's the real Param Siddhi. A yogi, by the practice of intense meditation, sees the self shining in the lotus of the heart like a spark of fire. It resembles a golden bee or lightning in the evening sky. This is all allegorical. This light expands and fills the body. The sense that the body is material melts away in the spiritual fire. As Kundalini begins to advance, you have the possibility to go beyond your physical body and understand, I am not the body, I am all mind. You are always all mind. But the notion I am the body is a dull-wit state. I am the body exists in your brain. Your brain centers are neutralized, rendered ineffective. You have no idea of what body is. You don't know where your hands are. You don't know where your nails are. The entire body is a projection of your mind. So all this that you experience about the body is nothing but the mind. All that you experience with the mind is nothing but the unconscious. All that you experience or hold as samskaras and root karmas, they are nothing but result of ignorance, avarana. And when ignorance is removed, all this is nothing but Brahman. So ultimately, your healthy state is a revelation. Aham Brahmasmi. Until that revelation has come, you are unhealthy. A yogi can direct the subtle energy of Kundalini. Now, the more you understand you are mental in nature, greater is the possibility of your experiencing psychic powers. But the more you feel that you are nothing but the body, all your powers become completely stunted. So a yogi can direct the subtle energy of Kundalini towards the attainment of any siddhi that he desires. This cosmic energy enables him to attain all siddhis. A yogi can diffuse his material body into the subtle plane of existence, or he may draw materials from the cosmic source by directing his Kundalini Shakti. Therefore, he can make himself minute or very gigantic by mere will. Listen, this is the method of attaining a siddhi, by following the path of wisdom. Now, Vasistha points out, Param Siddhi, what is the greatest siddhi, greatest attainment? And that's the enlightenment. A yogi develops profound understanding of the fact that the self alone exists. This world is an illusion. That self is non-dual, homogeneous essence, and the embodiment of peace and pure consciousness. It is this self, tainted by the mental process, that's called jiva. The jiva state itself is a result of disease, mool adi. The sun, as if has lost its identity in a reflected sun. Reflected sun is a jiva. So jiva is not the healthy sun, it is a reflected sun. And reflected sun, when it gets healthy, then is no longer confined to the pot. Another way, it realizes I am in every pot. Your I am is shining in every heart. Ahame Vedam Sarvam. I am all that exists. It is the self tainted by the mental process that's called jiva. This jiva sees the unreal body just as a child might see a non-existent ghost in a tree. So much detachment comes towards the body. You begin to understand the holding the idea I am the body is extremely kiddish. But when the light of wisdom shines, the illusion of the jiva is removed. It is no longer identified with the physical body. Now we are entering to another section, section 83. The topic is parable of Kiratha. Kiratha is a village merchant, and the story is illustrating that he goes after securing a little shell. Old time money was cowries. Little shells. That's how they counted their wealth. So he had some little shell, and for the protection of that, He went through terrible austerity, etc. But as he did, he finds wish-yielding jewel. And of course, he becomes fully fulfilled. So every soul, in the beginning, even if you are thinking of liberation, is just a little cowrie, because you have no idea what it is. But when you follow the whole system, that cowrie is no longer little. It's in Upanishadic language, it's called alpam versus bhuma. You go after alpam, securing it. Alpam is little. But you end up with infinite bliss. So that's the sadhana process. You are starting in a little state, but don't be discouraged. Pursue it. I've given you the essence, but now enjoy the parable. While Queen Chudala entertained herself with diverse psychic powers, the king continued to linger with his ignorance. The queen sported in the sky, for she had developed the power of flying. She became minute and entered into the hearts of stones and elements. She conversed with the Siddhas and other celestial beings, but she did not reveal her powers before the king. Just as the Brahmin priests do not reveal the secret rites before a Shudra, a person belonging to a lower caste. Sri Rama asked, how was it that in spite of being a great yogi, Queen Chudala was unable to enlighten the king? What will be the fate of those who do not have such a great association? And the point is being told that no matter how great associate may be, you may be associated with a great sage. You may be in close contact with Buddha. And yet, you can't attain enlightenment, because enlightenment is not something you share. You have to attain it. If you share enlightenment becomes an object and can be snatched away from you. Shri Vasistha explained, O Rama, the teacher's powers cannot enlighten others. Rather, one's own inner awakening in the form of spiritual aspiration enables one to attain enlightenment through the guidance of a guru. You have to develop your aspiration. Come under the guidance of guru. Practice Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan under the guidance and practice your integral yoga. Listen to the parable. Once there lived a Kirata, a village merchant, who lost a kauri, a penny, while journeying through Vindhya forest. He was determined to find it, and thus continued relentlessly to look for it in the forests through which he had journeyed. Everyone ridiculed him for his vain efforts. But he didn't mind. As a result of his strenuous effort, he discovered a wish-yielding jewel, Chintamani. He went in search of a kauri, but he found the wish-yielding jewel. He became supremely happy and contented. In the same way, an aspirant loses a penny's worth of his vain expectations in the forest of the world process. All that you attain in the world is penny worth. And takes up the path of spiritual sadhana under the guidance of Guru. In spite of the ridicule of worldly-minded people, he continues to study the scriptures and search for what he has lost. Finally, he realizes the self and puts an end to all desires. Without the instruction of a guru, the self cannot be attained. The Kirata could not have found Chintamani if he had not looked for the lost kauri relentlessly. Such is the miraculous power of Maya. The human mind turns to spiritual studies, desirous of petty attainments. However, instead of finding the penny that it had started to look for, it ends up finding the state of self-realization. And with this good news, we conclude. Om Ram 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya grace of God over all of you, with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti, and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.
And we conclude and look forward to Friday's lecture in the Tulsi Ramayana at 7:30.
Om Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj